In the quiet stretch between shadow and sunrise, you sense uncertainty hovering like mist and wonder whether courage can truly bloom before daylight fully breaks. The hush feels fragile, yet it pulses with an awakening invitation. Receive the steady grace that steadies every first step. The one who shaped dawn itself stands near, ever-present refuge, ready to breathe renewal into your waiting heart. Today's purpose is simple. Lay anxious plans aside, open your hands, and trust the gentle benediction hidden in his whisper. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. The Lamentations 3:2-3. How might you surrender the fear of beginning? Which desire needs release, so fresh paths may open? Now, as your heart grows still, we step into the unfolding light of his promise. Dawn unfurls like a banner of quiet assurance, and you stand at its edge, listening for the first rustle of wings beyond the window. Gentle gold strokes the horizon, whispering that yesterday's mistakes no longer define you. Mercy rewrites the sky. Each inhalation feels like a promise, each exhalation a letting go. You notice how the breeze lifts a curtain, and you recognize that even fabric responds to subtle direction. How much more will your spirit answer, the one who calls you by name? Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. See Ephesians 5:42. The verse is an anthem for the soul still drowsy with regret. It reminds you that illumination is not earned but gifted, wrapping you in possibility. Let the light sift through yesterday's dust, unmet goals, harsh words, restless nights. You need not carry them into the new canvas. Grace archives what you surrender. Hear the robin's tireless song above city hum, declaring that praise belongs to the early hour. Your voice, too, is invited. Unpolished, earnest, real. Speak softly or silently. Here am I. Such simple words become keys that unlock held tight doors. Notice your pulse steadying as you whisper gratitude for breath, for the small miracle of waking. Gratitude enlarges inner rooms. Suddenly there is space for peace to sit beside you. Psalm 92. Morning satisfaction is no fleeting mood. It is a river drawn from eternal wells, ready to refresh purpose and perception. Now picture the path outside. Perhaps a familiar street or a forest trail, washed in newborn light. Each stone is bathed in the Father's regard. You are not stepping alone. Unseen hands brace your shoulders. If a lingering ache pulls at your thoughts, offer it like dew on grass, knowing the Son of Righteousness will absorb it in healing rays. Quietly commit your next conversation, your schedule, your unknowns. Trust that guidance will rise like incense, tangible even when intangible. Finally, hold the day's blank page before the author who delights in fresh chapters. Feel anticipation replacing dread, courage displacing hesitation. The hush has shifted, morning is fully here, and with it the assurance that grace goes ahead, beside, and within every stride you take. As first light strengthens, you feel the tiles cool beneath your soles, while unspoken questions press against the road that waits outside the doorway. Yesterday's doubts still murmur, yet dawn insists that movement is worship. Each inch forward confesses trust in promises unseen. Courage is not thunder rolling over peaks. It is the quiet clarity settling within your chest like a rising breeze, urging muscles and motives to align with heaven's tempo. Let the hush around you become a forge in which hesitation melts and fragile resolve hardens into purpose. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. These words glow with sunrise freshness, assuring you that companionship, not heroism, fuels every brave beginning. The path stirs because presence walks beside you. Now imagine your hand on the latch. The wood yields with a gentle click. Dew-scented air greets your face. You cross the threshold. Notice how earth receives your weight without complaint. Creation testifies that beginnings belong to those who move. Your pulse quickens, yet within its rhythm lives a refrain. Grace goes before me. Let that phrase settle like soft armor over your heart. When memories of failed attempts resurface, answer them with possibility. You are not the sum of missteps. You are the child of a Father who delights in fresh starts. Let breath become a gentle metronome. Inhale promise, exhale worry. Feel ribs expand, making room for hope. You are being fortified from within, cell by cell, until resolve flows like clear water down a mountainside. Internal strengthening may remain unseen by others, yet heaven celebrates each private decision to move forward. Allow your arms to relax, palms open, a posture signaling readiness rather than resistance. Feel tension ebb from shoulders as expectancy rises like warm wind. Commit upcoming conversations, glowing screens, traffic lights, and chance encounters, and trust every agenda to wisdom deeper than your own. Should an obstacle loom, remember that detours can be invitations. Often the shepherd guides through unlikely alleys to reveal hidden gardens. Keep listening for the whisper shaping each bend. Birdsong now multiplies overhead, weaving a canopy of encouragement. Every trill proves that even small creatures proclaim fidelity at dawn. Let their chorus remind you that expression belongs to valor. Speak blessing in hallways you traverse today. Offer gentle words in crowded lifts, patient silence in tense meetings, generous gratitude at routine checkpoints. These simple acts ripple like sunbeams across faces, demonstrating that bravery often appears as quiet presence amid hurried schedules. Before the path curls out of sight, pause. Inhale the day's fragrance once more and mold a closing pledge. Where you lead, I will follow, step by grace-tethered step. Sense ground steady beneath, sky wide above. And realize the first motion has already shifted your entire landscape. The new chapter opens not by conquering vast terrain, but by choosing trust in the instant your foot left familiar tiles. Keep moving. The author of Mornings scripts alongside every stride, turning ordinary progress into unfolding testimony. Soft amber stretches across the sky, and you recognize that direction often arrives like this widening light. Quiet yet certain, illuminating one contour at a time instead of the whole horizon at once. The morning road still feels fresh beneath your steps, yet crossroads already appear decisions about deadlines, conversations, detours you did not plan. Instead of rushing into analysis, pause and listen to the undertone of dawn birds, adjusting pitch to unseen currents. leaves turning their faces toward breeze. Their instinct is simple obedience. Yours can mirror that same receptive posture. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. These lines invite surrender of frantic mapping. The straightness promised is not always shorter mileage, but uncluttered purpose. Clarity that outshines confusion. Let this assurance seep into your thinking like warm tea through porcelain. Imagine every choice today as a stone placed on a stream bed. Guidance is the current that determines how the water eventually sings around those stones. You need not predict every ripple. You simply place each stone with prayerful confidence. If conflicting voices rise, notifications, opinions, self-doubt, envision them as clouds that may briefly veil the sun but cannot extinguish it. Wait, light perseveres. Invite wisdom into the ordinary, the drafting of messages, the route you choose for your commute, the tone of your greeting. Whisper before each task, direct my words, align my motives. Such micro prayers function like compass bearings, subtle yet cumulative, ensuring that by evening your trajectory arcs toward peace rather than anxiety. Should unexpected news jolt your rhythm, catch yourself before reaction hardens, breathe, and let guidance settle the dust. Notice now the scent of blooming jasmine or wet pavement or fresh coffee, each fragrance revealing that environment carries signals. Likewise, God's counsel often wafts through circumstances and gentle nudges rather than dramatic signs. Pay attention to repeated scriptures, affirming comments, inner quiet that persists after prayer. These are breadcrumbs along the sacred path. If a decision feels weighty, picture laying it on a shoreline at low tide. The tide will return, and with it clear direction, either lifting the matter like driftwood, carrying it away, or revealing new treasures beneath. Trusting guidance means accepting divine timing. Haste can distort perception, while patience sharpens discernment. Hold memories of previous chapters' moments, when doors opened exactly when your strength faded, when a conversation arrived just as confusion peaked. Those recollections are stones of remembrance forming an altar within you, proof that missteps were real, yet mercy rewrought each one into testimony. Let them fuel courage to wait, to listen, to obey the next whisper. Finally, look up. A single cloud edges pink against rising blue, signaling transition. Night fully seeds today, so your uncertainties yield to providence. Speak a closing vow. Wherever the path bends, my trust will follow your voice. Feel your shoulders unclench, your heartbeat align with steady rhythm, and step forward beneath the guidance that never sleeps. Morning has fully unfolded, yet beams continue to press deeper through branches and window panes. Just as grace presses beneath the surface of your routines to mend what fatigue and disappointment have frayed, you walk further along the quietly brightening path, sensing that transformation is less a sudden thunderclap and more a persistent melody, returning again and again until even stubborn fears begin to hum in tune. Consider how the forest floor, trampled by storms, still produces tender shoots, so your heart, though bruised by unspoken sorrows, sprouts unseen green under holy light. You need not force this renewal, only consent to it, the way petals consent to sunrise simply by opening. You remember hidden motives tucked behind today's plans, the desire to impress, the itch to be affirmed, the subtle panic of falling short. Instead of hiding them, lift them like stones from a riverbed. Let living water rush over their rough edges. In this cleansing flow, comparison loosens its grip, bitterness softens, and joy takes root where worry once grew weeds. Pause here, breathing slowly until each exhale carries away burdens you forgot you carried. Feel ribcage expand with possibility. Feel pulse align with hopeful cadence. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Zit Psalm 51:10. These ancient words echo across centuries to brush today's dust from your soul. They remind you that purity is bestowed, not self-manufactured, and that renewal is an ongoing river rather than a one-time rain. Now envision the heart as a garden just after rain, soil dark, fragrance rising, worms aerating hidden layers so roots breathe. Grace is that gentle gardener, loosening compacted places, trimming deadwood thoughts that once blocked sunlight. When regret surfaces, perhaps a sharp memory of impatience, an unresolved argument, surrender it as wilted foliage. In its place, new compassion sprouts, ready to flavor conversations with warmth. Trust that pruning is purposeful. Each clipped branch makes room for unexpected blossoms. Let gratitude flow again, this time for inner workings unseen by any mirror. Enzymes repairing cells, neurons forging fresh pathways of resilience, spirit composing calm between beats. Whisper, thanks for scars, now turning into testimonies, for flaws that keep you humble, for emotions that prove you are still wonderfully alive. Gratitude is sunlight for intentions. Under its glow, motives grow transparent, reflecting love rather than self-promotion. Notice a breeze slipping across your skin, cool, almost playful, carrying scents of pine, wet earth, or city bakery. Receive it as a kiss of reassurance that change is already in motion. Take one deliberate step and feel how posture shifts, shoulders lower, jaw unclenches, eyes soften. You are lighter, not because circumstances disappeared, but because grace has lifted their weight from your chest. Permit this lightness to travel with you into inbox, kitchen, classroom, commute. Permit it to recalibrate tone, transform reactions, inspire generosity where scarcity once reigned. If an anxious thought darts forward, greet it with gentle truth. Belovedness is not revoked by yesterday's stumble. Repeat quietly, a new heart beats inside me. That confession, simple yet potent, casts future moments in hopeful hue. Imagine speaking with someone who tries your patience. Hear yourself respond not with reflex irritation, but with curiosity, because compassion now flows freer than frustration. As the sun climbs higher, shadows shorten and clarity sharpens outlines. Likewise, your renewed heart clarifies purpose. Feel courage arrange your priorities, wisdom temper your workload, kindness lace your words. Walk on, every stride orchestrated by mercy's rhythm. Every glance upward a reminder that renewal is the ongoing miracle of morning. The morning road fans out before you like a river of light, each stone brushed with warmth that seems to beckon. Proceed. You sense invisible hinges creaking as gates swing back. Opportunities you once feared now glimmer with welcome. Nothing shouts. Instead, an assuring hush covers the landscape, telling you that provision preceded your arrival. Yesterday's walls have thinned to sheer curtains. With a gentle breath they part, revealing fresh horizon. Feel how expectation tingles along your arms, how even the air tastes brighter, as if flavored with promise. Begin walking, listening for the soft cadence of your footfalls meeting destiny. The track may curve, dip, or climb, yet every contour carries meaning. A conversation ahead may unlock resources. A detour might introduce mentorship. An interruption could steer you toward empathy. Remain attentive. Guidance often glints in subtle signposts, an inner nudge, a co-worker's timely word, a sudden calm that settles decision. Let these signals choreograph each stride, trusting that alignment matters more than speed. Remember that wide passages sometimes masquerade as narrow alleys. A humble task assigned today might unfold into expansive influence. A small act of kindness may echo longer than public applause. Keep perception flexible, aware that the master planner writes epics with ordinary ink. Resist the urge to measure success by immediate applause or visible scale. Instead, discern progress by inner peace and faithful stewardship. You will notice serenity accompanying right turns, like fragrant pine following mountain air. Should obstacles arise, a closed door, an unexpected delay, pause without panic. Think of river water encountering rock. It pauses, collects, then flows around, polishing granite as it goes. Obstacles can refine vision, slow you to notice overlooked blessings, redirect energy toward unexplored avenues. Breathe deeply, recalling previous chapters where no became later and detour produced deeper growth. Hold fast to confidence that every twist still lies within the map of providence. Let gratitude lace this journey. Whisper thanks for the ability to move, for senses alert to beauty, for relationships walking beside or cheering from afar. Gratitude prevents horizons from shrinking into self-concern. It widens perspective to include others' needs and joys. Look around. Perhaps a neighbor stepping out, a colleague wrestling burdens, a stranger's wary eyes, and extend encouragement. When you create space for hope in another soul, your own pathway broadens. As the sun climbs, shadows rearrange, painting new textures on familiar scenery. In similar fashion, each moment reshapes understanding of purpose. Carry a flexible spirit, willing to recalibrate plans when spirit breathes fresh direction. Hold goals lightly, trust firmly, and watch the terrain respond. Doors time to open when humility overtakes hurry, bridges appearing where courage meets uncertainty. Feel the rhythm of forward motion, accelerating without strain, propelled by grace rather than sheer will. Close this stretch of prayer with a pledge. Wherever clarity shines, I will step. Where mystery lingers, I will wait in confidence. Release lingering doubts into the widening sky above. Inhale assurance, exhale hurry. The chapter is unfolding beneath your feet, sentence by glowing sentence, each footfall transcribing faith across the parchment of day. Continue walking. The open path is not merely a route. It is a living conversation between your trust and heaven's unfailing guidance. Golden light now crowns the treetops, and you sense morning settling into its steady cadence. The hush that cradled your earliest breaths has ripened into confident brightness, and creation seems to lean close, ready to echo a final blessing over every task awaiting you. You pause, feet on familiar ground, heart newly spacious, and receive this moment like open palms catching rain. Nothing frantic presses in. Instead, assurance hovers, quiet as a dove, reminding you that the grace awakening you also escorts each hour ahead. Picture a gentle hand tracing a circle of light around your day. Meeting rooms, crosswalks, kitchens, study desks, marking them sanctuaries where ordinary minutes can shimmer with purpose. You no longer measure success by unchecked boxes, but by the calm that threads through conversation and chore alike. When challenges appear, let peace rise first. It will soften your voice, lengthen your patience, steady your pulse. Even correction can flow like clear water when carried by kindness. Notice the rhythm of your breathing, steady in, steady out. Each inhalation gathers promise, each exhalation releases weight. This slow exchange mirrors divine rhythm, receiving mercy, giving mercy, again and again. Allow the pattern to guide responses today. Listen fully before speaking. Pause briefly before deciding. Choose gentleness where haste once ruled. Such deliberate pacing is not weakness, it is wisdom. Conserving strength for what truly matters and freeing you to celebrate small wonders. A child's laugh, a colleague's breakthrough, a silent prayer answered in a hallway. If loneliness shadows a corridor, recall dawn's intimacy. You were met before anyone else stirred. Should business threaten to scatter attention, remember the garden within your heart, freshly tended. Return there for moments, even amid noise, to drink calm. Let gratitude remain your compass, thankfulness for sunlight glinting on windows, for the resilience in your bones, for the unseen guardianship surrounding every mile you travel. Gratitude unclogs weary channels so joy can circulate freely, fueling generosity toward each soul you encounter. Carry blessing in your posture, lift your chin, soften your gaze. Let your walk suggest readiness to serve. Words may fail when complexity arises, yet presence speaks fluently. Your steady patience, your quiet smile, your willingness to hear before fixing, all declare a larger story at work. Consider each interaction a seed. Even brief exchanges can sprout hope long after you move on. Finally, lift your inner eyes beyond the horizon. Evening will eventually draw its curtain, yet the grace that greeted sunrise will remain unspent. Trust that tomorrow's mercies are already stored, waiting to unfold when you again whisper, "Good morning." For now, receive a benediction older than sunrise yet fresh as dawn. May serenity guard your thoughts, may courage embolden your steps, and may love flow through every gesture until nightfall sings of work well blessed. You stand wrapped in fresh daylight, heart attuned to promise. Let this silence echo the truth that you are accompanied, strengthened, and sent. Whenever doubts whisper, recall dawn's gentle voice naming you beloved. Hold plans loosely, hold peace firmly, hold others kindly. Today's path may twist, yet grace will steer each turn. Share encouragement with someone thirsty for hope. Your overflow can become another's uplift. End this moment by breathing deep, smiling softly, and stepping forward under heaven's quiet smile.